Hey, what's up everybody, and thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 3 of the Battlefield Gamers podcast. We're veteran gamers of the Battlefield series that discuss the latest topics and news and share our experiences as well. I'm your host, Todd, the Gator, and this is going to be a little bit of a short episode. In this week's show, we're going to start out by announcing, finally, the open beta dates of Battlefield 2042, and more importantly, we want to discuss some tips on getting the most out of the upcoming beta. It's only 4 days long, so this might be some valuable information for you. I'm also going to discuss things leading up to the beta announcement. Without further ado, let's do this. Hey Battlefield Gamers, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Battlefield Gamers Pod. That's at BF_Gamers_pod. You can also email us at BattlefieldGamersPodcast@gmail.com for any suggestions or questions for the show. And speaking of questions, would you like to send us a voicemail with a question for the show, or maybe just to say hey? If that's a yes, then visit speakpipe.com/Battlefield Gamers Podcast, where you can leave us a message. Just press record, speak your mind, and hit stop, and boom. It'll automatically send it to us, where we might actually play it on a future podcast. So check that out. Or you can just visit BattlefieldGamersPodcast.com, where you can find all of our contact information and also play our episodes in any order you like, right from your browser. So check us out. And later, Gator. Okay, I wanted to start off by saying, on behalf of this podcast, I'm sorry. When I first started this podcast, I kind of planned on a continuous stream of news content, to catch everyone up on the latest Battlefield news. But realistically, DICE and EA have kind of gone radio silent since our last podcast. And, we were kind of hoping they would have released another trailer or sneak peek or something at Gamescom. But nothing. Not a peep. Total radio silence. I'm guessing either two things happened. Either one, DICE needed more time for the beta, and they asked EA for an extension, and it was granted. Which, by the way, the game has been delayed a month, and it will now launch on November 19th, as of this recording. Or the second thing that probably happened, or might have happened, is this was all a part of a promotional scheme to make us as fans ravenous for any new information. I don't know. Whatever the case, I have to admit I'm a little disappointed in DICE and EA, because I'm kind of used to getting weekly feedback and news from Bungie Studios, which is the creator of Destiny 2. If I haven't mentioned numerous times, I have a long-running podcast called Guardian Downcast, which is about the game Destiny 2 and the community surrounding it. I guess I'm a little spoiled by Bungie at this point, because they are in constant communication. They have several community managers that are always tweeting anything that's coming up in the game, anything that they're having problems with, any reason they're offline. I mean, they're so transparent to our fans, and I gotta admit, this community has been around for 7 years now, so Bungie has gotten really good at cultivating good communication with their community. And, 7 years is when the original Destiny game came out, and I'm of course a beta player from Destiny 1. I've been gaming in the Destiny community for all of 7 years, plus the beta and time before that. So to say the least, I was a little disappointed in the lack of communication from DICE and EA, but you know what? Who knows? When they freely tweeted out, I remember back before, Battlefield 5, before it's launched, a lot of the employees and people behind the developer scene were tweeting stuff about the game, and maybe the community came across as maybe overcritical or maybe a little salty. So maybe the developers put a freeze, on any employees revealing any information about the game, due to how it was received last time. You know what? Who knows for sure? All I know is, like I said, I was just a little disappointed, and, there was really nothing to talk about. I mean, there were some leaks, very, very questionable leaks about certain things about the game, but I mean, even content creators on YouTube are having a hard time talking about anything about Battlefield 2042. And I figured, you know what? I don't want to waste your time. If there's nothing to talk about, I don't want to put a podcast out that just is rambling on and wasting your time. So now that we have something to talk about, You know what? Let's get into it. We'll be right back. Okay, for those who are unaware, Battlefield has an open beta. Early access will be October 6th through the 7th, and that's for people who basically have EA Play or have pre-ordered the game, which I have. And then the open beta to everyone else will be the 8th and the 9th. So that's it, 4 days. 4 days to jump in and see what this game's going to be all about. So there was an article put out by Battlefield, by the developers. It was called Battlefield 2042 Tips and Tricks. And it says, find out what you need to know to hit the ground running in Battlefield 2042, from controls to healing. You'll find out the information you need to know below. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to read these out to you guys because, not everyone has time to open up a browser and a computer and look over all this stuff. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to quickly go over all this. And now that, you're listening to it on audio form, maybe it'll be a little easier to absorb, especially if you're at work and things like that. So the first thing they have is a call-in system. And what this is where you call in vehicles in Battlefield 2042. And they said, need a vehicle right now? Here's how you get one delivered fast. When you need a vehicle on the battlefield, you really need a vehicle. Luckily, the new Battlefield 2042 call-in system can get you the ride you're looking for in a hurry. How do you use it? Easy. On PC, press the B button to bring up the call-in tablet. Choose from troop movers to combat vehicles, and use the left mouse button to select the right choice for your particular situation. Once you've decided, move your mouse over again to choose a location for the delivery, then one more click and you're all set. For Xbox, press the RB button and follow the steps above. For PlayStation, you're going to hold the R1 button and follow the steps above. Okay, and probably from what you've seen from past trailers, you can see that you can change weapons attachments and stuff on the fly in Battlefield 2042, and they have a little picture thing here saying how the plus system works in Battlefield 2042. This is where you switch out weapon attachments quickly and in the heat of battle. The middle of the firefight is the last place you want to spend serious time fiddling around with your weapon attachments. You need a system that's intuitive, easy to use, and best of all, fast. Luckily, in Battlefield 2042, the plus system fits the bill perfectly. Hold down the appropriate button or key for your preferred platform to see what attachments are available on your current weapon. Each arm of the menu grants access to a different category or attachment to select from. Releasing the button instantly equips the selection. This allows you to experiment with these attachments to find out what best meets your needs in a particular firefight or just fits your overall playstyle better. For PC to do this, you're going to hold down the T key, left click to select, then release the T key to equip. For Xbox, you're going to hold down the left bumper key, use the directional buttons to select, then release the left bumper to equip. For PlayStation, you're going to hold the L1, use the directional buttons to select, then release L1 to equip. So you're holding down something to pull up the menu, and then once you select it, then release the trigger or whatever key you're using. Okay, the next article they have is how tickets work in Battlefield 2042. What exactly are tickets and why are they so important? Think of tickets as a shared team resource. The more tickets you have, the more respawns you get. More respawns mean more soldiers on the field fighting for your team, making it easier for you to control more territory. The more tickets you have, the fewer your enemy has, giving you the advantage. Of course, the most direct way to reduce the enemy's numbers is to take them out. But you also need to take and hold objectives on the map to control sectors. The more sectors you control, the more you drain the enemy team of tickets, reinforcements. If either team reaches 0 tickets, the match is over and the other team wins. This is the Conquest type of game type, and this is actually what is going to be in the beta. So for those who are new to the Battlefield series, that is how the game works. Okay, so you say, okay, how do you capture a sector? Well, if you want to win, you basically have to dig in. Conquest mode is all about sectors, specifically how much of it you can hold on any given map. The more your team holds, the stronger it gets. The weaker your enemy becomes. But how do you actually capture a map sector in this mode? Start by understanding that each territory on a map contains one or more flags, and those flags must be claimed and defended. Manage to do that on all the flags in a given territory, and you've captured that sector. The more sectors you can tally up, or take away from the enemy, the closer you are to victory. Maintain a grip on the majority of sectors, and you'll steadily drain your enemies of reinforcements. When they reach 0, the game's over. Okay, the next thing they talk about is how to heal and revive in Battlefield 2042. Keep your team in the fight with these healing and reviving tips. Part of survival on the battlefield is knowing how to heal yourself and your teammates quickly and efficiently to make sure you all stay in the fight. Let's start with the auto heal. Once you or your ally has taken damage, you'll begin to heal after a short delay. You can get back to full health this way, but it takes time, and once you take damage, the delay timer starts all over again. There are also healing gadgets. Medic crates are boxes that you can use to heal with your teammates. Throw them on the ground, and when an injured teammate moves close enough, they gain HP over a short duration. Please be aware that there is a cooldown after healing takes place, so you won't be able to use another medic crate immediately. Same note here regarding avoiding further damage during the healing period. Finally, the specialist, Maria Falk, has I guess it's called a Surette pistol, allowing her to heal herself. She can also shoot friendly targets to heal them at range. If she misses the target, a syringe will land on the ground and can be used by either friend or foe and receiving the healing effect. However, the Surette hits an enemy target directly, they'll take damage. That's pretty cool. That's something I have not experienced in past Battlefield games, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. Okay, and as I mentioned, Conquest is going to be the game type in the beta next week. So you may be asking, okay, how do I win at Conquest? I've kind of spelled it out a little bit, but they kind of go into more detail here. It says, get some insight into this iconic mode. Conquest is one of the most iconic and well-known modes in the Battlefield series. Despite the chaos of the near-future world of 2042, Conquest will remain the fight for territorial supremacy against an enemy team that players have come to know and love. It is my favorite game type in Battlefield. What is your objective in Conquest? Capture and hold as many sectors as you can on the map. The more territory you or your allies can capture and keep, the faster you bleed the enemy of reinforcements. They basically start losing tickets. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. Not only will you need to change your strategy on the fly to deal with enemy tactics and movements, but an environment that can change from peaceful, sunny day to a major weather catastrophe with little warning. You'll need to adapt and adapt quickly if you want to get out on top. Okay. So there's going to be changing weather like there was in Battlefield 4. I like it. They finish off this article by showing the controls scheme for each of the 3 platforms, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and PC. And I will leave this link in the show notes afterwards if you want to look into this to see what exactly controls what. I guarantee you can pull this up in the menus in game. It's been in every Battlefield game since. So yeah, I'll leave the link to this whole entire article in our show notes at the end of the show. Well, like I said, everyone, it's a short episode today. There's really nothing else to talk about. EA and DICE have really been tight-lipped on anything. We don't know anything about Hazard Zone yet. We've gotten a few leaks that kind of describe it, but nothing officially has been released, at least from my knowledge, about Hazard Zone. So hopefully we'll find out more about that very, very soon. That's a wrap, everyone. You can find me on Steam and PS5 as Gator, all caps, GATR, and don't forget those underscores. You can find me on Twitter at Todd the Gator, and visit my YouTube channel as Gator, GATR, underscores in between. And we now post our episodes on that YouTube channel as well. So if you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube, say you're working in the office and you use YouTube a lot, you can find us on that channel as well if you want to listen to our show. You can find our podcast on whatever podcast app you use out there, or just search for Battlefield Gamers Podcast. We're on Twitter at BF_gamers_pod. You can email us at battlefieldgamerspodcast@gmail.com or visit our website at battlefieldgamerspodcast.com. And we hope you will ask us questions on our SpeakPipe. It's an easy way to send us a voicemail with a comment or a question for the show. Just visit speakpipe.com/battlefieldgamerspodcast. I post all of these links, by the way. You don't have to get your pen out and write it down. All these links will be in our show notes, in our show description on whatever podcast catcher you use. So check that out. I also have a Destiny 2 podcast, as I mentioned earlier, called Guardian Downcast. It's where we interview content creators and community members to hear their story. So if you like the Destiny game, check that out as well. We're on all podcast catchers as well, and you can go to guardiandowncast.com for more information on how to reach us, or even how to join our Discord and go from there. All right, everyone. I hope you have the chance to enjoy the Battlefield 2042 beta, October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. I know I am. I'm going to be out there. And I believe Joe Taco, my buddy, will also be playing as well. I did have another guest that was going to be on, but he's going to be out of town that week. So I did want to speak with him as well. But we're probably going to have Joe back on our next episode. We're going to talk about the beta, what we liked from it, what we disliked, how our experience was with it, and all that good stuff. So we hope to see you out there on the battlefield playing the 2042 beta. Thanks for listening, and we hope you join us next time. Take care, everyone, and be good to each other. And later, Gator.